Like, I had some really dark shit going on in my brain. Like, really fucked up dark shit.
Wow.
All the time. And I would just obsess over music. I'm an obsessive person, so, like, and you probably know that about me. If I decide I like something, I obsess over it.
Okay.
And then I either, like, let it die or just... It's, like, on or off for me. I'm either obsessed with something or I could not give a shit. So, music was my first love, and...
It's interesting. It's so binary.
Yeah, it is. I've never really thought much about that. But, like, music for me was, like, the thing, like, hey, if I have, like, dark, twisted thoughts going through my brain, instead of doing some fucked up shit, if I listen to this album and this album makes me feel a certain way, I relate to the lyrics maybe, or just love the sound of the music, or maybe I'll go home and, like, learn how to play the song or whatever. That gave me something to look forward to, and it gave me something to, like feel, like into, passionate about, and that alleviated a lot of the, like, problems mentally that I was having, and also taught me how to channel those emotions, like, into something like lifting weights.
This is so interesting, because I actually just talked about this with Pat earlier, but, like, this is a concept that Jordan Peterson, like, really talks about, and you said you listened to podcasts before.
Absolutely.
But, like,
his podcast, all his lectures on YouTube, yes.
Like, being able to channel that dark side, and, like, so that whenever you, like,
but like he says, like, if you're not able to make yourself into a monster, you're a helpless victim your whole life.
Exactly.
And helpless victims are worthless. Absolutely worthless.
They're just helpless.
And then there's monsters who are just plain old monsters, tyrants, you know, people that are not good for anything because they can't figure out how to channel their monster ways, you know. And those are people that turn into really terrifying, you know, harmful people. And then there's people who can kind of, like, understand that, like, that side of them that's dark and scary and like a monster, and they can find ways to channel that into positivity. And that way, if there's ever a scenario that you need to be a monster to handle properly,
you're capable.
You're capable. The analogy that Peterson gave was, like, what he said was, you'd think that someone who, like, let's say your mother suddenly dies in a car accident, right? You'd say you'd have to be a complete monster of a man to live through that. And he'd say that's the point, you know? It does take a kind of a monster of a person to live through a traumatic experience like that and come out on the other side, like, without being permanently damaged, right?
Okay.
But that's the whole reason that you have that side of you, so you can channel that and use it to your advantage to overcome. Yeah.
Or so that you just don't surrender whenever.
Exactly, because if you have no monster in you and you're just a helpless victim and your mom dies tragically, the rest of your life's over. Because you're just depressed the rest of your life.
True.
You're depressed the rest of your life. Your job goes to shit. You get fired. Can't pay the bills.
I feel like also in that particular situation,
you snowball the wrong direction.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it goes back to acceptance of, like, your mom being dead as well, too. That's definitely an element. But yeah, that's really interesting.
Well, you might say you'd have to have, like, a monstrous side of you to accept something like that. Mm-hmm. Because that's brutal, you know? No one's denying that. So, yeah.